judge's clerk called me. You're late for the hearing. The defendant's family is waiting for you. I was at my apartment folding laundry. What hearing? Immigration court. You're the Spanish interpreter. Started 20 minutes ago. I'm not an interpreter. I'm a graphic designer. Sarah Martinez, court-certified interpreter. You're on the schedule. I don't speak Spanish. You've interpreted for us 17 times this year. What's going on? I drove to the courthouse, showed my ID at the clerk's office. She pulled up records. You've been our interpreter since January. Certified. Background checked. Sworn in. I've never been here before. You interpreted a deportation hearing last week. An asylum case in March. Multiple criminal trials. Someone's using my name. She pulled case files. My signature on interpreter oath forms. My certification number. My hourly rate being paid out. Where's the money going? Bank account in my name. Over $8,000 deposited. I'd never opened the account. The bailiff came in. The interpreter finally showed up. Defendant's waiting. That's not me. He pointed down the hallway. Through a courtroom window, I saw someone at the interpreter's desk, wearing a suit, headphones on, translating testimony. Similar build to me. Same hair color. I need to go in there. You can't interrupt a hearing. I waited. 2 hours. The hearing ended. People filed out. The interpreter came out last, carrying a briefcase. Professional. Confident. Our eyes met. Her face went pale. She turned and ran. I chased her through the courthouse. Security stopped us both. Who are you? The clerk demanded. I'm Sarah Martinez. We both said simultaneously. They separated us. Checked our IDs. Her ID said Sarah Martinez. Different address. Same name. Same birth date on the card. But my ID was real. Hers was a good fake. Court security pulled her into an office. I waited outside. An hour later, a detective came out. She's been interpreting court cases for 11 months, using your identity. Why? She's actually fluent in Spanish, qualified to interpret, but she has a criminal record, can't get certified legitimately. They pulled all the cases she'd interpreted. 17 hearings, some civil, some criminal, 2 deportation cases. Were her interpretations accurate? We're reviewing recordings now. So far, they seem competent. She knows what she's doing, but that wasn't the point. She'd infiltrated the court system using my stolen identity. People's lives had depended on her translations. Defendants, immigrants, witnesses. One case had already resulted in deportation, based partly on testimony she'd interpreted. If her interpretation was wrong, someone might have been deported unfairly, the detective said. They found her through the bank account, traced the deposits, found where she'd been spending the money, arrested her at her apartment, found court interpreter reference materials, my stolen documents, fake credentials, my former neighbor from years ago, someone I'd barely known. We'd lived in the same building briefly. Police brought her in for questioning. I watched through the one-way glass. Why did you do this? The detective asked. She sat there in her professional interpreter suit, looking like she belonged in a courtroom. You're fluent in Spanish? Native speaker. Studied legal interpretation. Understand court terminology. I can do this job. But you used her identity. I have a felony conviction. Drug charges from 10 years ago. Can't pass the background check for court certification. So you stole her credentials? Found her information. She lived in my building. I took her mail once. Got enough details to create fake documents. The detective looked at the case files. 17 court hearings. 11 months. I interpreted accurately. I know what I'm doing. Defendants got fair translations. But you weren't authorized. I needed work. Courts needed Spanish interpreters. I had the skills, just not the clean record. Made $8,000. Court interpreter rates. $75 per hour. Some hearings lasted all day. The detective leaned forward. These were high-stakes cases. Deportation hearings. Criminal trials. People's freedom depended on your accuracy. I was accurate. I did the job right. That's not the point. You infiltrated the justice system using stolen credentials. She looked at the mirror. At me. Families had lost members to deportation based on testimony she'd interpreted. Some cases had to be reheard.